Supergirl.
Hey guys, just finished watching Supergirl Season 2, Episode 15, Exodus. Wow, what an episode. This episode was pretty cool, and I'm definitely excited for next week's episode, but getting to this episode was quite cool, seeing Supergirl and Snapper Car talk and dealing with all that stuff. Although one thing I didn't understand about that is that at the end of it all, she posted it on her blog, just makes it a whole new blog out of nowhere, and just posts it, and everyone sees it out there, because it just gets popular out of there, it just goes viral out of no reason. That makes no sense. I wish I had something like that, somewhere I could just post online, and it'll go viral anywhere, because I'm Supergirl, and I have super social media powers, or whatever. Wow, that was kind of weird. Now, I know the subject matter, maybe that's the reason why it was going viral and stuff. Maybe she shared it to everyone or something like that. But it just didn't make sense that she would be able to just, create a blog out of nowhere and post it online and then have it go viral immediately, things like that. Rather than just kind of leaking the information to CNN or another news network or someone else like that. That would have made more sense. But other than that, I guess that's a little nitpicky for me. But it just makes no sense that, obviously just posting it on Twitter, just posting it on Tumblr, your Tumblr page, is not going to make it go viral and instantly like that. Unless you had, really, really fruitable evidence in here. There's no proof that they're doing it. So, I don't know. It just was kind of interesting, weird, the way they did that. But then getting to the stuff at the end with Dean Cain and stuff like that was kind of cool. And getting that reveal that Terry Hatcher was in this episode with that other guy. I forget that other guy, but if I'm not mistaken, he was also in Lois and Clark. He was in there for a few episodes, so that was pretty cool seeing them. Definitely can't wait to see how that goes on in next week's episode, which I'll get to that later as I saw the trailer. But it's definitely going to be fun to see where things go with this. It definitely was cool seeing Supergirl pushing into the ship. Now, one thing with the ship, I would like to have seen her chase after it at light speed. That would have been really cool to see things at a faster speed rather than that. Or see Supergirl pushing against it and then seeing the thrusters of the ship kick up to light speed. So she's at light speed, have the ship, she's about to catch it at light. She catches it at light speed, or she's pushing it and it's going light speed, and she's able to push it back at it and be able to push her Supergirl's super speed at almost light speed versus the ship's speed at light speed, and be able to see that power. I would have liked to have seen that rather than Supergirl just going up against their normal ship going really slow. Seeing Supergirl going up against the ship at light speed, that would have been way more interesting. I think way more cool. But otherwise, it was still kind of interesting the way they did it. It was kind of fun. Although there were some other parts earlier in the episode where when she was dealing with when Alex went and started beating up the guy in the interrogation room or in the cell and stuff, it didn't look real. It looked like her punches were really big and really wide and stuff like that. It was just kind of very comical the way they were, how wide she was punching. It just didn't look real. They look like really I'm gonna punch really big and wide so that it looks like I'm hitting you, I'm really missing you and things like that. So that was a little weird. That kind of threw me off there with the punches in that scene. It just took me right out of the episode. That it just went, oh my god, that's so fake. But oh well, and it just didn't look real because they were so over dramatic with the punches. I don't know. I just think that I don't think I blame it on the actress. I just blame it on the choreographic for this fight was not, it didn't just do it a little bit more tight and bring it down to earth rather than making these punches be so over dramatic size and stuff like that. So I don't know. That just kind of annoyed me there. But other than that, it was kind of a fun episode. It's cool seeing the twists and turns of Dean Cain, seeing how his character goes. Which I was surprised though that he's not. Cadmus still has him at the end of this episode, even though he turns on them and helps Alex get on the ship. I mean, we don't see what happened to him while Alex was on the ship or anything like that, which we should have seen. I would have liked to have seen maybe someone kind of goes and knocks him out with some sort of gas or with a dart or whatever. Somehow, it would have been cool to see someone knock him out rather than just, oh my god, he's back with the Cadmus. Whereas it seems like, he needs to leave Cadmus right now because they're about to torture him for turning on them, But if we had saw him get shot or get, something, and that would have explained why he's back with Cadmus instead of just kind of, he's not with Cadmus, I mean, Supergirl was there. She prepared the ship. Can't she bring him, could she bring him home when she brought Alex home and stuff like that? So that would have been nice to see something there. Feels like we're missing something with that. But it was cool again at the end seeing Terry Hatcher. And definitely can't wait to see how much we see of her. Hopefully we get to see a bunch of her. And then next week's episode, if I'm not mistaken, though, will be the beginning of the crossover for The Flash, the musical crossover. Because if you look at the 45-second trailer rather than the 20-second trailer, you get to see what's his face, the flute guy there. He's actually in it. The music maestro is going to be in the next episode of Supergirl. Although we do have to wait a week for it, but it's definitely going to be fun to see how he is and how much we get to see of him. Do we get to see them pick him up and things like that? It's going to be pretty cool. I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see. And it's also going to be interesting because there's talk about having next year's, next season's crossover being an actual complete 4-episode crossover, full week of crossover. So that's going to be cool to see how this goes and how they do it in this episode. And when we get next week, if it's, do we just get that one shot of this guy and then that's it, and then he does something at the end of the episode and that's it, and, get him, see him throughout 2 parts of the episode, or how often do we get to see and how big is his storyline? So I think that's it's going to be pretty interesting to see where things go with that. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how much Terry Hatcher's in it, and so I think it's going to be cool to see. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. Like, does Flash go over and just kind of pull her out of next week's episode, or next week's episode? Does Vibe come over and just kind of pick her up and go and like that? And that's how they do it, because how, is the rest of the team, whoever goes over to Earth 1, because we know more than Supergirl will be over. I think James Olsen, Wynn, will be over. I'm not sure if her sister will be going over. There was an interview between the actress, but we're not entirely sure. I'll probably have to check out her video on the Facebook page. But so it's going to be interesting to see the ones who are left on Earth 38. Are they going to be dealing with Terry Hatcher and stuff like that? What's going to be going on with that, and how do they do that? So I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they build that up, and what are they going to do? Have Terry Hatcher in next week's episode, and then at the end of it, just kind of, take a minute, pause, Terry Hatcher, we're going to go save Flash, which I kind of don't mind if they do something like that, because I really love the crossovers, and I prefer the crossovers a little bit more than these Terry Hatcher moments, but at the same time, it just has to make sense within the storyline for them to just leave and go see go help Barry, rather than just getting, unless they could just get picked out of there for no reason, maybe it's Music Maestro, maybe he uses some of his powers to go through the portals, and he brings someone and abducts someone as a hostage to Earth 1 with the Flash, and that's where they meet up. That would be cool. That would make sense why they would leave to go to help the Flash, even though they have Terry Hatcher dealing with some stuff on her thing and stuff like that. But we'll have to wait and see. But maybe she might not be a threat, because there is a picture in the trailer where she looks like she's kind of she looks like she's actually kind of helping there, just sitting down having a meal. So we'll have to wait and see how things go with that. But it's definitely going to be fun to see where things go. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode. What do you think is going to happen in next week's episode, or next week's episode? And what was your favorite part? I guess I really love seeing Cyborg Superman and Dean Cain, take on the role, fight and stuff like that. I'd love to see maybe if they ever kill off Cyborg Superman or something, to see Dean Cain become Cyborg Superman. Maybe he, slowly gets it. Maybe once they finish this Cadmus storyline, he continues on, and they look at, Wynn can look at his arm later on and kind of go, oh my god, let's undo Cadmus in this, and then they can improve him and keep on bringing him and keep giving him superpowers, because I'd love to see Dean Cain being a member of the DEO and being on with superpower reasons. I think that would definitely be fun to do that. I think it definitely would be interesting to see where things go with this. I definitely can't wait to see how much we get to see of Dean Cain after all this, because I feel like after all of this, Cadmus stuff, is he just going to leave again because we don't want to? Because Dean Cain doesn't want to be on the show all the time. But they need to do that within the show, have it make sense, because they haven't seen their father in like 15, 20 years or something like that. So it's like, for them to all of a sudden at the end of the season no longer see him and never see him, see him very rarely after all this. I think it's going to be really silly for them to do that, and it won't make sense within the storyline. But at the same time, I don't see Dean Cain being in every single episode after this season or something like that. I hope he is, and I really want him to be in every single episode, but it just doesn't make sense for them. I just don't see them doing that. But hopefully they can find a way and have him in, for the next season, every third episode minimum. Have him in like that. That way he still kind of feels like he's around, and it's not just he's still doing stuff. And I'd love to see him and and what's her face there, Kara and Alex's mother, see the two of them interact in the DEO and you know, doing science stuff together. I think that would definitely be fun to see the two Dr. Danners working together. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode of Supergirl season 2, episode 15. When we think about it, what do you think about it in the comments below? What do you think about episode 16, the trailer and stuff? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.